Hello YouTube, Matthew Williams here. Just a little video to bring you an update on the John Searle affair. And I've been doing a bit more research and it really doesn't look very good now. I must be honest. I've actually gone into this in quite some detail, going onto many websites and reading reports talking about the real John Searle, not the John Searle that John Searle wants you to know about, but the real John Searle. And well, basically, one of the best videos I've seen that talks factually about this is it contains newspaper reports, and it's by a guy. Sorry, it's by a guy called Flower Bower. So that's Flower, Flower Bower, Bower, and it's called Searle Some Inconvenient Truths Part 1. I'm going to put the link down the bottom. Now, this video features newspaper clippings from the Inside Business section of the Sunday Times, which is 5th of March 1978. Now, it goes on to talk about the flying saucer that Searle was trying to build, and that Searle wanted to have investment of £110,000 for it. But then it goes on to say, this is quite interesting because Searle claimed it would take £12 million in order to get this thing flying, but now he's just asking for 110,000. Then it goes on to say that it would fly from Land's End to John O'Groats in less than 95 seconds, and that would mean, you know, its speed would be 23,000 miles per hour, which is, you know, sort of 18,000 I was kind of estimating at, but they reckon about 23,000 miles per hour. Anyway, then goes on to talk about Searle's arrest. Now, this is very interesting, and if the Searl Story is watching this, I think you should definitely watch this video, sir, the Searl Story, on YouTube. Electricity thief was risked a blackout of the South, it says, and it says that an inventor put the south of England's entire power supply at jeopardy because he bore a grudge against the local electricity board. Searle, age 50, Mortimer, Berkshire, pleaded guilty to 6 charges of damaging property belonging to the Southern Electricity Board, the Central Electricity Generating Board, and also Thames Water Authority. He admitted to abstracting £117 worth of electricity, but what he also did is he had tried to cut nuts and bolts from 400,000 volt electricity pylons, and he had also cut the supporting poles and wires with a chainsaw and a hacksaw. And because of this, he caused damage of £7,000, which back in 1978 was quite a lot of money. Not a lot of money now, but that was quite a lot of money. And it says Searle began his campaign of criminal damage after he was fined for stealing electricity. And then it was said that he then went on. I can't speak today. Sorry about that. He then went on his vendettas to get his own back, and he was remanded in custody, so he wasn't allowed out. You know, after this happened, he was held in custody, and then eventually he was given his sentence. And another newspaper article says, engineer jailed for vendetta. John Searle was jailed at Reading Crown Court for 15 months for carrying out a vendetta against his local electricity board. And this is from The Times on the 5th of January 1983, and it's there in black and white for you to see. And then it basically says that, you know, he'd run his vendetta, and it nearly caused a blackout of the south of England. Now, that's the first bit. I'm going to put the link down the bottom for you to see that on YouTube. Also, I would like to draw your attention to a gentleman who has been backing up the claims over the years of Mr. Searle, and he says that, you know, I really don't know what I'm talking about and I should do some research. Well, I'm doing some research, pretty interesting research. I'm not finding things that are actually going in Searle's favour. I'm finding a lot that is actually showing that he's a bit of a wide boy, because Searle, in the video called, it's a DVD which people who are actually believers in Searle's stuff, even though there's no evidence that it works at all, but they're still believers, and, you know, we all know about belief systems. These people have put out a video. It's called The Searl Story, And in it, Searl is allowed to make the statement that he won the court case. He won the court case, and the judge told him that he was a much more intelligent man than the man from the electricity board. So he won his case, and he got away with it, and it was all dropped. He served 15 months in jail, or that's what he was sentenced for. 15 months. Yeah. Now, I'm sorry, but that motherfucker Searl is in his video saying he won the case. Now, black is white and white is black. Searl is a liar. Now, the problem is, as well, as I've been saying, Searl claims he has a professorship, an honorary professorship, and I take exception to this because it sounds to me like a very made-up name for his professorship. And apparently he was given this after doing one lecture for a university in Germany. I don't think universities go giving out honorary doctorates after doing one lecture for them, honorary professorships. Anyway, one of the people that actually backs him up and says, oh yes, he's a wonderful man and his research is great and has been telling me that I need to do some research because I don't know what I'm talking about, is a guy called Terry Moore. Now, Terry Moore runs and is a director of the Big Cats Survival Trust, which you can go and have a look on the net. So type in Cat Survival Trust into Google, and you will see lots of things to do with Dr. Terry Moore. Dr. Terry Moore. Doctor. Okay? Now, I asked the question, as I quite often do. You'll know me now. I'm ever the one to say, can I please have some proof of your doctorate, sir? And he went, well, it's not in physics or electronics, it's in medicine. And I said, right, okay, well, what is it then? No response. And then I pushed the argument and said, well, I really do want to know what your doctorate is in, because you're using this doctorate and using your title as a doctor to actually further your credibility with saying that Dr. Searl is really a good guy and we should listen to him. And I would just like to, hear where you got your doctorate from and what it's in, please. And then, whoop, Mr. Terry Moore, or should I say Dr. Terry Moore, but probably more like Mr. Terry Moore, turned it round, flipped it round and said, oh no, I'm not dealing with you. You're the crop circle man. You're all crazy. I'm not having anything to do with you. And I said, look, mate, whichever way you slice it, yeah, if you refuse to give details of where you got your doctorate from and what your doctorate is in, then you are probably not a doctor, yes? Because most doctors who've actually got their sort of doctorates properly would be quite happy to give out that information. So if you're not happy to give out that information, then there's something wrong, isn't there? Because who would not want to give out that information? I mean, I'm not qualified to the hilt, but I can tell you where I got my qualifications and when I got them. I got my A-level and I got my GCSEs in Treorchy Comprehensive School. That's spelt Treorchy Comprehensive School, and that's in Treorchy in the Rhondda Valleys, and I think I got them in about let me just think now, probably be about 1989, something like that, it's not a hard thing to do, is it? Especially if you've gone to all the effort to go to a university and you've done all of your professional training and you've done your degree, and then you've taken your degree and you've moved it on to be able to do your work on a doctorate, and then you do your thesis and your thesis is published, and then you're awarded your doctorate. You're going to remember where you did that, aren't you? And you're going to be able to just reel it straight off, like I just did. I've got a bad memory. I got a really bad fucking memory. But even I can remember where I did my education. Okay, so now, here's the problem. I did say to Dr. Terry Moore, or should I say Mr. Terry Moore, why am I fucking calling him doctor? He's not a doctor. Yeah, I said, look, if I have to tell people that they shouldn't be listening to you regarding the Searl claims because you're not really a doctor, it's going to look pretty bad. And I said, if you're refusing to give me this information because you are going to sort of later on go, oh, well, I actually really have got a doctorate and here's the information. It's like, well, that makes you look like a little bastard because you've just obviously been obstinate in order to try and make me look stupid by saying that you're not a doctor. Now, I'm not trying to trip you up. I'm trying to give you every opportunity in order to say that you are a doctor, and you've refused to do that. I set a time limit on when I was going to actually make a statement on this, and the time limit has gone. And you refuse to give the information, which means that there's obviously something wrong. There's either something wrong with your doctorate, or there's something wrong with your attitude regarding, dealing with people who are asking for that information. It's not an unreasonable request. If you are a doctor and you're using the title of doctor in order to gain credibility, then you better bloody well have a doctorate, and you better bloody well be prepared to show people that you do. Otherwise, you, sir, could be acting out fraud. That's what it's called. So, bottom line is, I'm sure he does lots of great work with the Big Cat Survival Trust, but the point being, and this is rather sad to say, has he actually put himself forward as being, I'm the doctor in charge of the Big Cat Trust, right? When he hasn't got any qualifications. I'm really saddened by this. I'm really saddened because I'm sure the work he's doing is absolutely vital and very, very good for the Big Cat Trust. But using fake credentials in order to get that title, to get that respect, using fake credentials, it ain't good. Whichever way you slice it, yeah? I mean, I'm a supporter of Sea Shepherd, I give them money, I support them, but I don't have to go, I'm Dr. Matthew Williams in order to frigging do it, do I? And if you're backing up Searl and saying, yes, Searl's a really good guy, Dr. Terry Moore, or Mr. Terry Moore, why am I still calling him a doctor? I'm sure there's something wrong with this, yeah? Mr. Terry Moore is basically saying that he's checked Searl's stuff because he's got a little workshop with electronic stuff in his house. Big deal. I've got a little electronics workshop in my house too, and I repair computers. It has nothing to do with my qualifications at all, and neither does yours. Now, the point being, stop using a title if you haven't got the right to use it. But anyway, I would like people to look into this because I'm really pissed off at people using these titles. I'm really thinking that there's a lot of people out there. When anybody says to you, I'm a doctor, you should say, I want to see your credentials, please. Because this is obviously becoming, a bigger issue here. I mean, how many people out there that are using these titles of doctor have actually got a real doctorate? This is what I'd like to know. And it's starting to piss me off a lot, actually, to think that these people are using these titles in order to stand heads and shoulders above other people. Yeah? When they don't have any right to do so. So, there we go. That's it. Dr. Terry Moore, Searl Energy Generator, Big Cat Survival Trust, and Mr. Searl lying his arse off about saying that he won his court case against the Electricity Board when in fact he lost it and went to jail over it. Naughty, 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 naughty fucking people, naughty, naughty, naughty fucking people, eh? And they say that I'm fucking bad for making crop circles. Hey, Terry, I think you're getting a bit defensive on that one, mate. Yeah, I've made crop circles in the past. That makes me a really bad boy. But guess what? Which is worse? Making some crop circles or calling yourself a fucking doctor? Yeah, exactly.